Good morning, Lions fans. It's Will with Rocked On Detroit Lions, and we're bringing you some news this morning about a player that became available. But I also want to talk a little bit about what happened last night in the Eagles game. Briefly, the Lions had a better opportunity to clinch the number one seed, or at least play for the number one seed, if the Eagles would have lost yesterday. That didn't happen. They eked out a win. Jalen Hurts does Jalen Hurts things. So at this point, the Lions have about a 3% chance of playing for and getting the number one seed in the NFC. I'm never going to count our Lions out, and the reason why is we had less than a 1% chance of making the playoffs last season, about halfway through the season and beyond. But as you remember, we were just half a game away. So I'm not going to count these boys out. I won't. But it is a tough road, in front of us. And a lot has to go right. The Lions have to win out. The Eagles have to lose 4 for the Lions to even have a shot. But the question is, can we get better? Can this Lions defense get better to help us win more games? Well, Marcus Peters became available yesterday. I'm not sure on the timetable as to when he'll be, officially available. But is he an upgrade? Is he somebody that will help make this defense better? That's the question that we're all trying to answer. And is Brad Holmes even interested? I can tell you this, from a money side, it makes sense. We have enough money to bring him in. It's only a few $100,000 for the rest of the season based on the contract that Marcus Peters has. So it fits. There's nothing in our way from that standpoint. So the next question is, does it make sense from a production perspective? Marcus Peters is giving up 103.2 passer rating against, a 66.1 completion rate against. He's missed 20.4% of his tackles. He's giving up 13.3 yards per completion. He has 1 interception for a pick 6, but he's played in 91% of the snaps. Now, he generally plays in the number 1 role. I don't know if Marcus Peters is going to be willing to accept a number 2 or a number 3 role. He's definitely not going to come in and take Cam Sutton's job. But the two guys that I think that, he could help us with would be Jerry Jacobs and Will Harris. The question is, does it make sense, right? That's what I keep saying this morning. So Will Harris. Now, he's only played in 26% of the snaps this season, so it's kind of hard to gauge, Marcus Peters' production versus Will Harris. But what I can tell you is just based on, the limited amount of time that Will Harris is getting in, he's letting up some big plays. And he's not doing the right things to help this defense succeed. And I would say that from an overall experience and player profile perspective, that Marcus Peters would definitely be an upgrade over Will Harris, without a doubt. So if you scrap all of the stats, I would say yes, he would be an upgrade over Will Harris at this point. Will Harris has given up an 83.3% completion rate against, which is 20 points better than Marcus Peters. He's given up a 95.6 passer rating against, which is, 30 points lower than Marcus Peters. So not anywhere near as good. 14.3 missed tackle percent. So that's marginally better by about 6%. 26% snap counts, though. That's the big one. Marcus has about 65%, more snaps over over Will Harris. And he's also giving up 15.7 yards per completion, and he does have 1 interception on the season. So Will Harris has given up more yards. He's playing less snaps. He has less missed tackles, much higher passer rating against rate, but a lower completion rate. So if all things were equal, do you think that Marcus Peters would be an upgrade over Will Harris? That's the question. So what about Jerry Jacobs? Jerry Jacobs completely got dismantled in the last game versus the Packers. He was heavily targeted. I think he was targeted 9 times, and they had 8 completions against on Jerry Jacobs in some big plays. Cam Sutton also got torn apart. So we do need some help somewhere. And I would say immediately that would be the defensive line. But let's entertain the question, if Marcus Peters were to come in, would he compete with Jerry Jacobs? Right now, Jerry's given up a 60% completion rate, so that's better than Marcus. An 81.2 passer rating, which is 20 points better than Marcus. He has 3 interceptions, which is 2 more than Marcus. He has a 9.6% missed tackle rate, which is twice as good as what Marcus is doing, and 11.2 yards per completion. And he's also playing 98% of the snaps. So overall, I would say that Jerry Jacobs is having a much better season than Marcus Peters. But again, it's that liability factor where he's giving up big plays. And is he really helping out in the run game? Is he, filling in and performing his assignments flawlessly? And I would say the answer is a resounding no. But this begs the question. Do you bring a guy in like Marcus Peters that clearly has a lot of history within the NFL? He has a lot to teach others. I think that he would definitely be an upgrade over anybody below our 1 and 2 and could potentially lift the DBs up at times. And he would be an insurance policy if somebody did go down. He's a major upgrade over Chase Lucas. I don't think that they would remove Khalil Dorsey out of the equation because he serves multiple purposes. So I would say I'm 50-50. I don't know if you bring somebody like that in. I don't know if he really fits the culture that the Lions are trying to stick with. But we need something to change. And there's really no defensive lineman out there that can help change, what's going on with our defensive front. I'm going to be doing another video in just a few moments. I'm going to talk about the defensive line. There's something that I just became aware of last night when I was doing some reading. And I don't know why I didn't think about it before. But I think it really speaks volumes as to what's going on with our defensive line. But we'll talk about that here in just a few moments. I appreciate y'all for taking some time out this morning to watch this video. Let me know in the comments, would you bring Marcus Peters in for a few $100,000 for the rest of the season? And would you put him in at the number 3 spot, assuming that he would accept that role and become a role player with the Detroit Lions? I don't know. I can't answer these questions. So now it's on you, Brad Holmes. What are we going to do? All right, Lions fans, have a good day. As always, take care of yourself. Go One Pride. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Wants to throw it to Sewell. He caught it. He's going on a first down. Oh, yes. The big man dives down the 31-yard line. Oh, that is beautiful. Fields looking, pressured, hit from behind, taken down. Aiden Hutchinson got him.
No respect.
So, we look like we're ready. This is day 1.
No respect.